So full disclaimer, this is going to be the rawest, most unplanned video that I've ever put out. And it's some real stuff.
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad?
If you're new here, my name is Keela Trishan, and I make videos on lifestyle, womanhood, mental health, and I'll do vlogs on day in the life with a toddler, day in the life working from home, insurance videos, all kinds of things. So if that interests you, definitely go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss any uploads. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. So the reason why I said that this video is unplanned is because I had a whole other video planned for today. But as you can hear, there is construction going on in the background. So they have been working on our apartment building for the last several days, and it has been loud all day. In addition to that, I have been kind of struggling the last few weeks just trying to keep up with everything. As you guys know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm also a work-from-home mom. And my toddler is with me 24/7, unless he's with family sometimes on the weekends for a few hours. I do get relief sometimes during the week, but hubby's also been working a lot of hours, so it's basically just me and the kid. With that being said, I've had a lot of things that I'm trying to keep up with, including my YouTube and Instagram. And honestly, I've been falling short for my standards. That can make any normal person go crazy. And I've felt myself a couple of times over the last few weeks about to lose my shit. But I wanted to do a video talking about how I managed to not lose it and to keep pushing forward. So if you are interested and if this is something that you are currently going through, or if you know somebody that's going through something like this, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so I did have to move spaces because it sounds like they're doing heavy construction in the front of the building. So I moved to our room in the back so it could be just a little quieter so I can say what I have to say. But as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, just everything that we're expected to be, sometimes you can lose yourself by putting everybody and everything else first. So my number one tip for not losing your shit is to prioritize yourself at all times. So there are going to be things that you have to do for everybody else, but when you are making those to-do lists, when you're thinking about everything you have to do, make sure that you're including yourself. If you continue to put yourself behind everything else that needs to be done, there's no other thing for you to do but to lose yourself. And when you do that, sometimes that can make you resentful, that can make you angry, and it can make you very irritable. I know I've been there. So one thing that I make sure I do every day, I need to get dressed. I need to take a shower. I need to eat. Like sometimes I'll feed myself. And when I say this, hear me. Sometimes I'll feed myself before I feed my child. And what I mean by that is if we're eating breakfast, sometimes it's a big thing to feed him. Like he's throwing stuff, he's not sitting still. So I will give him a snack while I'm making breakfast. But a lot of times while I'm making breakfast, I will eat my breakfast first to make sure that I am nourished, make sure that I'm good to go so I can properly take care of him. Even on planes, they'll tell you if something happens and you need to put on an oxygen mask, make sure that you put on your oxygen mask before you tend to any children or anybody else, because you really can't help others unless you help yourself. So my number one tip is to make sure that you are always making yourself a priority. Okay, so my next tip is to be flexible. Understand that things aren't going to go the way you want it to all the time, and no matter how much planning you do. Now, I know that might sound contradictory because if you watch my videos, you know I talk about planning, especially for me, being a work-at-home mom, being a stay-at-home mom, I have to plan for my day. I basically have to plan for success if I plan on having any type of success. So I do try to get as much as I can taken care of beforehand, whether it be taking care of his clothes, taking care of his meals, planning time to play with him and stuff like that so he doesn't get antsy throughout the day, planning time to take care of myself, planning my workouts, all that stuff. But I can do all the planning in the world, and sometimes things just will not work out. That's part of what's been going on with my filming. So I typically film on the weekends, but these last few weekends, I just haven't had the time because I haven't had the coverage I thought I was going to have for him to watch him so I can do a proper sit down video. And then also, like I said, my husband's working more hours, so I don't always have the days where he's here to watch him. So it's a lot going on, but instead of me being angry about it and instead of me, internalizing it and just having a bad attitude, it's okay, you know what? Things happen. I'm going to figure it out. As you can see, I wasn't able to do the video that I wanted to do. So guess what I'm doing? An impromptu video. I got ideas just, on tuck. And this one honestly just came about because I'm like, you know what? If I'm going through this, I guarantee somebody else is going through this. So I had to be flexible. No, this is not the setup that I would always have. Typically, I would be sitting somewhere still and I'd be sitting somewhere that's a little bit quiet, but that just was not my journey this week. So yeah, just make sure that you're being flexible and make sure that you are just okay with things not always going as planned. Okay, so my third tip for not losing it when you're going through seasons of just things kind of not working out is to make sure that you are planning self-care. So just like the first tip that I had about making yourself a priority, make sure that you are planning intentional self-care. So for example, I had a situation, and I was telling you guys about this in some previous videos, where I had this whole hair care regimen, like where I was, washing my hair once a week without fail. And sometimes I got off of that schedule just with everything that I had going on. Like when I did have the time, I was too tired, or when I wasn't too tired, I didn't have anybody to watch the baby, whatever. So I got into a habit of just kind of going a little bit longer than what I needed to. And then when I did that, sometimes like I wouldn't feel the best about myself. Like my hair is crusty, and so I don't feel the best. So now I make intentional time. So even if I'm not saying to miss out on sleep, but for me, it's important to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, right? So I make sure that I set time aside to wash my hair. I don't give a damn what's going on. I'm washing my hair. I'm gonna throw some curls in it. I'm gonna do whatever, but my hair gonna be cute on some days, not all days. When it comes to my nails, I wasn't getting my nails done a lot during actually, I didn't get my nails done at all during the pan. But now that the nail shops have opened, like obviously I'm being safe. I'm still wearing my mask and all that, but I go to the nail shop like every 3 to 4 weeks, like because that is like my alone time. I can go get pampered for a little bit. I have nice, nails and feet, and I just feel really good about myself. And on top of that, I told my husband I want to start going for bi-weekly or monthly massages. Like I want to include these type of things because I do feel like not just me, but him, like we work so hard. We're working out. We're, trying to be the best parents that we can to our son. And why not? Like just add in those times where you're prioritizing your self-care and your mental health. So that's my tip. If you are putting yourself last all the time, and if it's been a while since you've, gone out and had fun, or since you've done something for yourself, make sure that you put that on your to-do list, make that a priority, because it can really save you from like spiraling out of control. Do your self-care. Okay, so my last tip for just kind of preventing yourself from spiraling out of control when you just feel really overwhelmed is to ask for help. I think a lot of times, and myself included, sometimes we just feel like we can get everything done, and we sometimes don't ask for help, or we'll turn down help when it's offered. And honestly, that could be to your detriment. You need to understand that as human beings, you are going to need help with things. Now, I am a person that, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I feel like I'm the best person for the job. I want it done a certain way, so this is how it's going to happen. But that's not realistic, because then what happens? You get overwhelmed, you get pissy, and you just want to say F everything. And that's not how we do things, okay? So there are so many things that need to be done, but we cannot always do it on our own. So I'm going to give you an example. I typically do the dishes. I do the dishes and I cook. My husband cooks and stuff, and he'll do dishes, but typically I do it because he does laundry, where I hate to do laundry. So there are some days where I'm like, I don't want to do these goddamn dishes. Like I don't feel like doing dishes. I do so many dishes, like because we're eating most of our meals from home. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner is dishes. So it's always a sink full at the end of the night. And y'all know I don't like to go to sleep with dirty dishes. So there are some times where I just ask my husband like, hey, can you put the dishes in the dishwasher, or can you do these dishes? And he'll do it without fail. Like his biggest thing is like, you just need to ask. Just ask. So, okay, cool. So now I do that. If I'm getting to a point where I'm like, you know what? I need some time alone. Because if you're a mom, you love your kids. But sometimes they can be a lot. Especially when you're with them 24/7. So if you have any like close family or friends that you trust, with your kid, ask for a couple of hours of freedom, so you can go to the grocery store, or so you can go do something without having to have your, child or children tag along. Ask for somebody to come over and sit with your kids so you can go take a nap, take a shower, or do something for yourself, whatever it is. Just don't be afraid to ask for that help, because sometimes you're gonna need it. Although we all like to think that we are every woman, there's no trophy for being every woman. I'm sorry. All you get is overwhelmed. You get tired, you get angry and you start letting yourself slip. So whenever possible, make sure that you are using the resources and the people around you to assist you with the things that you need to do on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be all the time, but especially if you're feeling like yourself getting to that point of overwhelm where it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Make sure you reach out to your network. They are there to help you. All right, you guys, so that is all that I have for you today. Again, this was an extremely impromptu video. The video that I originally had planned, I will film probably sometime next week or the week after, so it'll go up at some point. But I just wanted to just come on because I do pride myself on giving you guys like the real, and I never want to come off as inauthentic. I think that sometimes like people make it seem like this shit is easy, and it's not. Like, although I'm grateful for everything that I have, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for health, all of that, I'm not going to sit over here and lie and make it seem like every day is rainbows and roses. Like, sometimes I am stressed and I'm overwhelmed, and I know I'm not the only one. And I think in some cases, like, sometimes women are shamed for speaking on being overwhelmed and, you know, just tired. You know, it's like you're just expected to do so much, and it's just unrealistic to live like that every day. There are some times where I get everything and then some done, and there are some days where I don't get nothing done, and both are okay. So I hope this video spoke to you. If it did and you liked it, definitely go on ahead and give me a big fat thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and your girl's trying to grow over here, okay? I'm trying to get this information out to everybody that needs to hear it. If you have not already subscribed, definitely go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. With that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.
You mad, they don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your bag, it's like I never knew you. Leave that.